And we're back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 1, Episode 11 of the Starfall Collective, where me and some friends play some D&D Next 5th Edition live actual play. I am joined, as always, by the Master of Disaster, the Lord of the Pin, Matthew Q. Talamini. Matt, you want to say hi and tell the folks a bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Matthew Talamini. There's no Q in my name at all, no matter what these guys say. I'm not even silent. Don't type it. It's not there.
Your great-great-grandfather Quigley is ashamed that you would issue his name like this.
Nope. That's not real. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find some of my writings at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com.
Excellent. Burbage, just take it away.
I'm Sir Robert.
And I'm Jacob.
And we play Harcourt and Volas, respectively. And you can go to thefarce.net.
And you can go to wherever you're viewing this right now to see me play this D&D session now.
All right. Spread out.
Mr. Farrell.
It's true.
And Mr. Knoll.
I'm waving, but you can't see it.
All right. Well, gentlemen, last week we managed to get ourselves into trouble. What was the road to ruin like for all of you?
Pretty nice.
Underground.
Subterranean.
Talk to a tree.
That's true. You did have a nice conversation with a tree full of folksy wisdom.
But we went underground anyway.
That's true. Thak had some very strong feelings about how they should proceed, and he was summarily overruled.
All I'm saying is I told you so.
You wanted to get your bark on, have a conversation with the tree, the big tree.
For a small boat.
That's true. Something that sailors wander the ocean on. Mr. Farrell, did you have any points of particular weal or woe for Tashash?
Well, I didn't spend the whole time hiding in a bush, so
that,
you know,
tis a marked improvement.
That's right. And losing is half the battle.
the other half is hiding in a bush or not hiding in a bush.
So, Mela, your team seems to actually be forming some sort of chain of command organically. How does Mela feel about that?
He's ambivalent.
Sounds about right.
Oh man, if you're not true neutral, you're got to be lawful neutral.
I am lawful neutral.
Well, there you go.
Never mind. I'm
Waffle neutral.
So, Volas, you made a lovely ice boat. Oh man, is this more of a canoe or kind of a catamaran style, or what did that boat look like?
Really, it's more of a bowl. It's an ice bowl that Volas thinks is a boat.
Okay.
Because you can float in it.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay. Keep some water up.
And just shortly after alighting upon this boat, short-footedly, something happened to you. Do you remember what happened at the last second?
If I remember correctly, something grabbed me by the ankle and yanked me down straight into the waters, into the mud.
Into the icy cold flowing waters. It's true. And you might not have gotten a look at the thing that grabbed you, but other folks did. You guys remember any details about what grabbed you?
It was that tricky shark.
It's some kind of like pale zombie arm or something.
It was pale.
A squiddish
Jack
thing.
definitely thought Oh, it's one of those zombies again, except they're like underwater kind.
Underwater zombie.
Well, we left in a cavern where there were a few major landmarks and a few things are going to happen here fairly quickly. And so I just want to make sure that we're all very clear on what's going on here. There is a stream that is flowing south fairly quickly. You guys came into this kind of cavernous room where the stream runs through the middle of the cavern. At the southwest corner, there is a little ledge and a hole in the wall that seems to be leading south. There is also another cavern that is another hole that is leading to the west. That is on the same western side of the wall that you came in. So, as you stand there with your mouths agape at the thing that has just happened a split second prior, you hear a couple of sounds. You hear the sound of squeaks coming from behind you down the tunnel that you just came up, and you hear the sound of clanging and stomping feet coming from the other, from the more southerly western hole in the wall. What do? You have choices to make.
So how long ago did Volas make good his escape?
Call it a cool 3 to 5 seconds.
Okay.
Do we roll initiative to see who gets to do something first?
You know, this seems like a bullet time kind of moment, so sure, let's all roll initiative and see who does what, when, where,
Might as well.
and how.
What, when, where, and why?
12.
Oh,
Z.
that was a 4.
15.
Looking at a 13 for Thack.
7 plus 5.
Okay.
12.
Who had the highest there?
Not me.
Somebody had a 15.
That was me.
Volas. There you go. So I've got Volas, Thack, Harcourt, Mela, Tishash. Volas, you just took an involuntary plunge into an icy stream with something gripping you about the ankle. What do you do?
Well, obviously, I think there should be a spell that helps me with this.
So it grabbed him bodily. While Jacob's looking, it grabbed him bodily, not the boat.
It reached up a hand and grabbed him by the ankle,
Got it.
and he failed his dexterity saving throw to remain sure-footed
Right.
and was snatched over the side
From the bowl itself. The
from the bowl itself.
soup lost its only dumpling.
Well, I think oh, here we go. Misty Step.
Misty Step will allow you to teleport how many feet away? 20 feet away?
I think it's
Tells right there. Click it.
When you Misty Step, you must click it.
where'd it go? Seems I don't have it prepared.
You don't have it prepared. That's a tough one. Well, what they'll do is do quickly because this is a split-second reaction.
So what do you do?
Guess.
You can attempt to kick your foot free and break its grasp. You could.
Sure, I will do that because I am just fantastic at those whatever checks.
All right. Well, I'm going to allow you to use acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, thank
Your
goodness.
pick.
+2 instead of plus -1 million. right. 14.
14. Okay. So you've got you're doing your best impression of an eel, wriggling and slippering, and you manage to kick this hand free, and it slides off of your foot, and you are now free floating. About you don't know how far underwater, but you're now underwater, and you can feel yourself being carried along by the current.
I would like to not make myself underwater.
Okay.
That would be undesirable.
Okay, so you can just swim your swim speed up to the surface, and your head emerges from the icy cold water. I'm not going to make you roll any kind of Constitution saving throw. It's not going to kill you or anything, but you are definitely, it's take your breath away, chatter your teeth, cold, 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 cold. All right, so your head emerges. Do you cry out at anything when your head pokes out the top?
I say, no more ice boat.
Okay.
Just to yourself, not calling for help, nothing?
No.
Well,
Well, you guys hear a small muted voice say, "No more ice boat," from about 30 feet farther downstream than you previously anticipated it being. Thack, what do you do?
So it seems thinking quickly about my inventory, it seems that I don't have a rope.
I have a rope. You want my rope?
So what I'm going to, I have a couple of questions about our environment.
Sure.
How deep is the stream? Do I think can Thack see?
You don't know. I'm not sure that anybody aside from Harcourt has a real sense of how deep the water is.
Okay.
Harcourt knows that it's about 15, 20 feet deep.
When Thack looks at it, does he think that it would take a great effort to resist this current and swim? Or does he think, so he would think that Volas is in real danger of actually being swept away by the current because he's so little and the current's going fast and it's like a lot of water. It's not like a little creek. It's like,
Yes.
okay. In that case, Thack is going to shout to everybody, Volas is falling in the water! He's in the water! I'm going to go get him! And the guitar case comes off and it gets, like, set down firmly, not roughly, but also not very quickly.
Okay.
On the ground. Bop. And Thack is going to jump into the water and go towards Volas and try to grab him. If he can do that with his 30-foot walking speed, but my sheet doesn't tell me anything about my swimming.
So you're going to swim at half speed. Fortunately, the current is also going to carry you. So I'm going to say you jump in and you get down to him. So you guys are now right at the mouth of the cave. You're somewhere in the middle of the stream, and should the current carry you any farther, you will be carried down into this tunnel.
For my action, can I grab him?
Yeah, that you can. Yes, absolutely. You can grab him as part of your action. Yeah.
I want to grab him, and if I have any movement left, I want to swim towards the side.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. So you've jumped in.
The current has carried me towards him, and I swam a little bit.
And you've grabbed him. Sure. I'll say that you've got enough swim speed left because you made a good jump. You dove in. That's going to allow you to get right over to the edge of the water. To the edge.
Athletics check too.
Yeah. I'm going to say I'm not even going to make you make an athletics check, but yes, between diving in instead of just falling and using what's left of your move, you can swim to the edge of the water. So you are now swimming against the current, and you're up against the edge of the swift-flowing river. And there's just a little bit of ledge of the cave floor left in front of you.
I'm guessing that I probably don't have like I probably don't have enough left in my turn to grab onto the edge, so maybe I'll leave that for next time.
Yeah, right now you've used up your action diving in, swimming, and grabbing him. Yes.
And I've got another hand that's like ready to grab onto the wall when I get to it. But I think Thak's turn is over.
Yep. Hardcore, what do you do?
Hardcore was right next to him because I was testing the depth of the water. You know, with that little light thing.
Yeah.
I do have a rope, 50-foot rope. I'm going to real quickly pull it out and do a super simple one of these little slip knot deals. Takes a second. Wrap it around Tashash's arm and say, hold this, and, kind of slip it tight on his wrist, which I realize might freak him out, but whatever. Make another one on the other end. Do it on my right arm, Hardcore's right arm, and then I'm going to just bolt straight for it and do a, nice dive as fast as I can towards Thak and Volas.
So if you want these ropes that you're making on the ends of these loops that you're making on the end of the rope mechanically count for something, then I would need you to make a sleight of hand check to make these knots quickly.
Not a problem. Oh, I hope not a problem. Let's see.
Not a problem.
No.
I got it. 19.
Okay. You have expertly and almost instantly
Great.
made these knots custom and taken a dive. So you jumped into the water with Thak and...
As far as I possibly could reach. I run and jump as, run, whatever will not get me into the water. So if I can push off some rocks, get off the side of the wall, just anything to get further down towards them,
Yep, you're right there at the edge of the water, and Thak is really close. If you want to make me either athletics or I guess this would be I'm going to say athletics or sleight of hand to reach out and snatch Thak by some part of his jacket or wrist or something like that. Because he's wet and thrashing and everything, so make me some kind of athletics or sleight of hand check to grab a hold of him.
Okie dokie. I will not do athletics.
That's fine.
22.
Excellent. So you snatch your hand in there, you see the rhythm of his arm, and you snatch his cuff firmly when he's just at the top of the arc of his stroke. So you have now got a firm grasp on him. Mello.
So real quickly, and just to say, the slip knots around my right arm, my right, kind of this portion, it's on Tashash, and so he's either got it or he's going to freak out and let it go, or I don't know what. And now I'm making a chain to Thak, who also has a hand on Volas.
That's right.
Okay.
Mello, it is your
I would
turn.
like to run down the bank and grab as much as I can from the bank. How far is it on the bank?
You can get down next to Mela because he's, you can get down next to Harcourt because he's smaller than you, so you guys can occupy the same space. So you can reach out and also grab Thak by the jacket if you want.
Okay, how far away are they?
They are right next to the edge of the stream because
How far away from me are they?
right now they're only about 15, 20 feet away, so you could move to them and use an action.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
And just to let y'all know, my rope is 50 feet long, so about 40 feet of it is not part of the knots.
Okay. All right, so Mello, what do you want to do now that you're right down on there?
And
Do you want to
on to them.
say again?
I'm holding on to them.
Okay, great. Make me a. They're right there, so you can just run up and grab them. I'm going to say that grabbing them is going to be a free action, getting a hand on them because
Shove, a tug.
Yeah. So make me an athletics check to try to heave them up out of the water.
Can I do it acrobatically?
No, this is a feat of strength. You are pulling two bodies, one medium and one small, against a swift current.
Athletics, a 20.
Excellent. You heave them out, and they are now on the edge of the water. So all 4 of you guys are now kind of occupying a mutual 5 squares. You and Harcourt are kind of on top of each other, and Thak and Volas are kind of on top of each other. You're a giant, frigid tangle of bodies.
Okay.
To Shosh. You were thrown a rope, and you're now standing there holding a rope. Make me a perception check.
Holding a rope that's tied to your hand.
That's right. That's the biggest thing Harcourt could see.
Let's see. I got a 14.
14 total. Yeah, you can hear noises from this tunnel that is very, very close to you. You guys came in from the northwest entrance to the tunnel and the southwest entrance to the tunnel. You can hear these sounds getting closer. Very close to you guys is a kind of a rock ledge, a series of craggy things that appear to have been roughly hewn to provide sort of a halfway between a stair and a ladder to get up to opening up in the wall that's about 15 feet up. That is a passage leading south.
That's where it's coming from?
Nope, the one that it's coming from is immediately. So if you're facing the river, it's behind you, right? Sorry, here, let me hold this up. So right here. So the river is flowing down to the south. There's this up in the air, up on the wall. You guys are all kind of huddled down here. Right behind you, Tashash, you're closest to the tunnel. You can hear stuff coming from here. You guys came in from here.
Well, I guess I will. Everybody, since everybody seems to be all right. Everybody is all right? Yes.
Yeah.
Right enough for Gunner.
Everybody's okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I will stealthily run over to the mouth of that tunnel where the noise is coming from and take a peek.
Okay. So you run up to the edge of the tunnel, and you're kind of looking down a long kind of shaft. And at the base of that shaft, you can see several figures that appear to be stumbling up the shaft towards you. You can see the familiar shape of saurinoids would be the word for humanoids that are also lizard of the lizard league persuasion, but they don't look like you. They look smaller. And it's very dark down there. You don't see any light source. What's your dark vision range? 60 feet?
I
30 feet?
Where would I be able to find that?
Anyway, we'll cinematically wave that and say that you can see these figures shambling up. So you've got another round or two of something.
Anything, or like, do they seem sentient, or or like?
Make me an insight check.
Or are they feral? I guess. I do. I mean.
So your insight bonus is a +1.
Are these beasts?
No, they're not beasts. They appear to be humanoids.
Well, okay. So, what I have advantage on survival checks to track favored enemies.
They're not beasts.
As well as on intellect checks to recall information about them. So if they're
not.
Okay. Well, never mind then. So what did you say?
Insight. You get a +1.
Right. Okay. That's a 10.
You can't really tell whether they're what their MO is. They just appear to be uncoordinated at this point. At that point, you guys see a face pop up out of the water, and you see two enormous orb-like eyes on top of a very frog-looking face. And you see this thing look at you and say, "Yeah, boys, come on." And it turns and dives down into the water.
What was the first part of what it said? Sorry. Could I not understand it?
If it was not very intelligible, you gotta come on.
Vibe.
Something about fools. Fly fools.
The creature that attacked Volas wishes us to join it under the water. I do not trust it.
It didn't look very attacky right now. It looked like it was just trying to help. I mean, it didn't bite us.
Maybe they're supposed to be friends.
Tashash turns and hisses a whisper.
There are creatures coming. They will be here soon.
Do they look scary?
They look like me, but not me.
Anybody who
recognize them?
It made a fairly convincing plea of, "I'm trying to help you out."
Well, how insightful does Thack feel about having seen this? What kind of judgment do I make about its friendliness?
Well, that's all up to you and your dice if you want to roll something. You can make me a diplomacy check to try to get a sense of...
I don't have diplomacy on my sheet.
Not
I have
diplomacy.
insight.
Yeah, insight, sorry.
Passive insight.
What's your... Oh, that's right. Everybody's got passive insight, don't they? Yeah. Everybody tell me what your passive insight score is.
14.
11.
Yeah, I think you guys all have this general sense that this thing was just trying to be helpful.
Okay, I say, look, those guys tried to cut us. This guy tried to talk to us. I'm going with this guy.
I would like to cast.
Noah dives in.
Yeah, Harcourt also lets go of Thack and goes after, noting that Harcourt is still tied to Tashash.
I would like to cast
Tashash
Prestidigitation.
getting pulled backwards. And this seems to break his momentary indecision, at which point he turns around and dives in after Harcourt, with the rope still tied to him.
I would like to cast Prestidigitation so that it doesn't feel so cold and dive in.
Fair.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. You have it too. Can't you cast
Yeah.
it?
I recommend that Volas should grab onto the rope.
Yes, I
And
will
we
do
can
that too.
be in a kind of safety chain deal.
Also.
Thack is going to run to where his guitar case is.
Yeah.
And grab it up.
Okay.
And fling it on his back. And by this time, they've all jumped in the water. So he's gonna.
So at this
All
point,
of his friends.
Zach, you look down the passage that's right next to you, and you can see about a dozen undead kobolds shuffling forward. You can see their milky, glazed over eyes. Their already feral, animalistic mannerisms have devolved fully into slavering jawed, shambling masses, and they surge forward at you, and you leap. And do you swan dive? Do you pinch your nose? How do you do this?
How far away from you are they?
They're about 30 feet.
How many of them will fit into a 10-foot radius sphere?
Ooh, I'd say probably about half of them. They're coming up in a big glob in a pack.
Do I judge that I have time for one offensive action and then
You can fire off the spell and jump in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with a shatter. Since they're there and we're escaping.
I at least find that offensive.
Where's my They need to make the ones that are within. I'm gonna try and hit as many of them as I can within this 10-foot radius sphere, and they have to save against a con 14.
They fail.
And that means that they take 3d8 thunder damage.
Each?
Here it comes. Each one that does not save takes 3d8. They're not made of inorganic material, are they? Okay.
They're made of fully squippable materials.
10.
Yep. You see.
10 damage.
Yeah, you see them, the ones that you hit, all just rattle and shatter. You see a couple of their arms pop loose. One of them, their head comes flying off. And you see them all fall and crumple and actually form a little bit of a choke pile. And you see the rest of them trying to scramble up the top. And you hear from the other direction the retreating screams and squeals of these rat folk people in the wake of this incredibly loud sound.
Ha! Take that, zombies and rat people!
You've tasted the thunder of
Like the thunder!
That's right, yeah.
Out!
Gotta do his double fist bump. That's right. All right, so you jump in. You guys are now hurtling downstream. The stream seems to narrow a bit. And you guys are now beginning to make a series of either acrobatics or athletics checks as several large jagged rocks are beginning to come up at you. Everybody needs to make athletics checks to try to avoid slamming into rocks. There are some that are hanging down from the top. There are others that are hanging in from the side. Volas, Thak, Hardcore, Mela, Tashash, all of you guys make me swim check in the form of athletics checks to try to.
I have
Can I use
16. Since my swimming is improved and I'm tethered to Harcourt, can I assist him in any way?
Yes, sure. I'll say you can assist him.
Use acrobatics instead of athletics.
Nope. This is a measure of strength. All right, go for it.
11.
Oh, yeah, ouch. Thak, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage to the cheek as a rock smashes into your face.
16.
16. Mela, you managed to side-stroke your way around the stalactite that is hanging down from the top.
I got a 14.
Ouch! Ah!
Oops, sorry, I put that on the wrong one. Okay, Tashash, you managed to swim around a boulder that is sticking straight up out of the middle. Harcourt.
5.
Ouch! You take 4 points of damage as a sharp rock you drag over the top of it, and the current drags you across. Volas.
2.
2?
Hey,
Wowza, buddy.
only 18
Wowza.
more and I got a natural 20.
Nice. You take 3 points of damage as a rock jabs into your ribs. You guys all see up ahead a split in the water, and you see this white, slimy, frog-like figure on the right side of the divide. Mela and Tashash, you guys are going to have advantage on this next check to swim over to the right side.
So can I reel hardcore in?
If you want to try to do that, yes, you can. It'll be difficult, but you can do that.
And
Bolas
Bolas is hanging on the same rope.
You guys are all going to be at disadvantage to swim over to the right.
Do what you want.
Okay.
So what kind of check is
There's
this?
no chance that I could grab onto this rope.
So
Do you guys make this rope available? Well, yeah. So
I mean, it's just a rope in the water.
yeah, I mean, I'm
I would
probably
like to try and grab onto it.
yeah.
I'm probably trying more to get hardcore in than
Okay.
trying to get anyone else first. So like that's
Tashash, you make me that check first. We'll take care of you first.
what's the check?
This is an athletics check to try to
Okay.
reel Harcourt in and over.
Okay. That is an 18.
You do it. You successfully pull Harcourt over, and then make a check for yourself to get over as well with advantage.
Hey, also, Bolas was hanging onto the rope already.
That's
Oh,
true.
good. So I got both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say you did. You've got both of them because you guys are tied together. Now make a check for yourself.
Got a 13.
Ooh, okay, so you are right there at the edge. You are kind of hung up on the boulder, and you can see Thack coming down towards you. Thack, with disadvantage, you're trying to make your way over to the right side of the stream before it splits.
Sure thing. Here goes. That's going to be a natural 20 and a 3. So 3 plus 9. 3 plus 9 is 12. So it's a 12. It's not a 3. It's a 12. Thack is very good athletic.
Okay, so you are close enough that Tashash, you see Thack is about to beef this. He's about to go flying past you. You've got a chance to reach out and grab him if you want to make me either a sleight of hand or an acrobatics check to try to grab him.
Your proficiency bonus is 4.
Mhm.
Matt, back. How do you get
My
plus
proficiency?
Right.
That's what it says.
Oh,
Um,
nope. I got
5 is
4.
the highest, right? And then you add your proficiency bonus, so that means your proficiency bonus is 4.
Yeah, it's given me an extra.
There are other ways you
I've
can add
ex-
things,
I've
right?
ex- Yeah, so I have expertise at athletics, which I think means that my proficiency bonus is doubled.
Nice.
Yeah, so Tashash, you see Thack go by you, and you reach out for him, and your fingertips brush against each other for a split second, and you see the current suck him down into the icy black. And you can hear, does Thack say anything as he disappears down the tunnel?
The wrong way.
Wrong way.
Help me, guys! Help me, guys! Help me, guys! I'm trying to swim to you. I'm trying to swim to you, but I can't. Help! It's very noisy.
Can I help him with my 21?
No, you are on the other side of the split. You made it. You fully cleared the split, and you were off on the right. With that, you see this frog guy look wide-eyed at you guys, and he kind of beckons like this. He gives you an arm wave, and he dives into the water, and you see him paddling furiously. He's shooting out ahead of you way faster, and you guys go downstream a little ways, and he kind of dips up out where it forms a little bit of a jetty, and you see him run up to the edge of a ledge and look out, and you guys all manage to run and catch up with him fairly quickly.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell the. So, you said we landed on the rock, right?
You are the only one who landed on the rock. You are wedged against the rock. Mela and Volat and Harcourt, dangling down the correct side of the stream away from you on the rope,
Oh, jeez.
which is tied to you currently.
Do they? Trying to figure out what he would do.
How far are we from that little jetty? Harcourt and Volas, who are 40 feet downstream-ish.
You're only about maybe another 30 or 40 feet from it.
Okay.
So you'll with that stream, you'll be there next turn.
So they look like they could get there safely.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Tashash is gonna untether himself and go after Thak.
Okay. Make me. Do you cut yourself loose or do you try to untie yourself?
These are slip knots. You just have to pull it.
Okay. All right. So make me a incredibly easy sleight of hand check to get yourself out of this cold, wet, cinched down slip knot.
An 8.
Oh man, it is. You spend a few seconds trying to get it off of you, and you're failing to. At least for this one round, you're not able to get it off of your wrist.
Cut the rope.
Cut the rope. You pull out your sword and you cut it loose, and you see the two of them going downstream.
Jump out. Go swimming after Thak.
Okay, Thak, what are you doing with your time in the water? Are you going downstream? Or are you fighting against the current?
I'm looking for any place to land. Looking for a place where I can get out of the water as soon as one comes up.
Sure.
I'm generally trying to avoid sharp rocks and things like the one that I ran into a little while ago that really hurt.
Right, yeah. Well, the sharp rock thing, you're in luck. There is a sharp rock for you to try to hold on to. Make me a dexterity saving throw to try to avoid getting just fully impaled on this thing.
Here you go. That's going to be a 13.
Ouch. 13 is not going to cut it. You take another 3 points of damage as this rock smashes into your innards and you feel a creep to your ribs. So you, Tashash, have a swim speed, which means that in a round later, just a few seconds later, Thak, Tashash comes swimming up to you and is now next to you in the water.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
That rock really, really hurt.
Yes, it did.
What can I... Is there any way we can go back upstream?
So you can start making me a series of athletics checks to try to swim against the current. You guys are currently about 60 feet. You guys are about 60. I can only assume that was a currently pun. But you guys are currently about 60 feet downstream. Actually, 90 because of that.
25 feet downstream.
We can't get out, can we?
There is currently nowhere to quote unquote get out. The sides of the cave are slippery, jagged, wet.
Well,
His fingers are freezing cold. Your fingers, you've got claws, so it's not a big deal
I'm
for
a
you.
reptile as well. I have a rope. Can I tether the two of us together?
You can. While you're doing that, you're going to go another 30 feet downstream. So you guys are now 120 feet downstream from that split, and you can hear the thunderous, cacophonous sound of a waterfall behind you.
Okay. Well, rather than try to, waste time tethering that.
Okay.
Well, can I just toss him a rope, toss him one end of the rope, and at the same time, swim.
Sure.
Try to swim in the opposite direction.
So you guys make me a in parallel athletics check to try to swim back upstream.
Do I still have advantage?
No, you do not. This is just a straight check.
Okay.
Oh boy. You're looking at a 17 for Thak on that athletics check, brother.
12.
Nice. and 12. The two of you managed to successfully hold your position in the current because you, Tashash, start to get kind of tangled up with this rope. It starts to get like curled. It gets lashed up in your tail, and so you're not really getting an efficient paddle movement, like an alligator. But Thack is pumping hard, and he manages to kind of pull on you a little bit, and he's pulling you up. You guys are stable in the current. Make me another check.
While I'm swimming so hard,
Okay.
just swimming my ever-loving half-orc heart out, I'm looking around. Do I see any large massive plants around here? Weeds or bushes or growing things, living things of the plant variety?
No, you don't. There are no plants in this part of the tunnel. This is a strict move.
All right, I'm about to deliver to you an athletics check of 27.
20?
That's a roll of 18 plus an athletics score of 9. That is very athletic, and it's finally beginning to show.
I got an 18.
And an 18. You guys managed to clear a full 30 feet upstream. You're pumping, and suddenly you're fighting against the current, and you guys are now from the edge, from the split where you split off.
We are doing this as they say.
All right, make me another check.
Man,
Natural 20.
I just keep looking at my spells for anything that might help.
And lift him over my head. And I walk on water.
You guys managed to move another 15 feet up.
Oh, by the way,
That was a natural 20.
Oh yeah.
I'm communicating with him. I'm not wasting any breath to communicate with Tashash. I'm using the message cantrip to talk to him.
Okay.
So I'm like, come on, buddy, we can do it. Swim, 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 swim. This is great. Be like an orc, be tough. Swim, swim, swim. And I'm just, he's getting the full Thack athletics internal monologue. It's not very intelligent, but it's very much like being at the gym.
It's very,
I guess
very
I don't really
inspiring.
go to the gym, but
All right, gentlemen, you've eked your way a little bit closer. Give me another athletics check.
10.
23. I pull him.
Nice. You guys do. You manage, Thack, you manage to pull him forward a little bit. You guys are now 30 feet from the split.
Who are?
You want another one?
If you guys, unless you want to just give up and go down the waterfall, you're still 30 feet back. Give me another athletics check. You guys are fighting against the swift current.
I got a 22.
A 22.
Looking at a 12 for Thack.
Okay, you guys managed to pull another 15 feet ahead. You're only 15 feet away. You can see it. You guys have managed to make steady progress.
Here we go again.
Here we go
Yikes.
again
That was a 6.
with Tashash. Do-do-do-do. That's what you're hearing. Going up the river,
No
never
idea.
known.
No idea what's going on. Very confusing.
Oh, gee whiz. 2 plus 9 is going to be 11.
Yeah. So, Tashash, you have failed your third athletics check in the course of trying to swim upriver. You are starting to experience. You're starting to flag your breath. You're starting to have difficulty catching your breath. You can feel your cold-blooded lizard system beginning to. Your blood is beginning to thicken, and your metabolism is beginning to slow. Make me a Constitution saving throw to avoid this frigid exhaustion that is beginning to seep into your bones and blood.
Oh, that's an 8.
An 8. Ouch. Yeah, so you are starting to get real tired. You are going to make your next check with disadvantage as you are hit with a wave of exhaustion. And you guys fall 15 feet back downstream. You are now 30 feet downstream.
We passed that sharp rock, right?
You passed the sharp rock.
On our way back, I was hit by a sharp rock, and we swam past that, right?
You did.
While swimming, continuing to swim, I'm gonna message Tash and say, "Hey, buddy, do you think we could loop this rope around that rock that was back there? You know, if we..."
How far back is it? How far back is it, Josh?
You're asking me. You have a sense that it's probably another 15 feet back, 15, 30 feet back or so.
So we passed it and it's behind us?
Yes.
So Thak is going to say, "Hey, if you want to take a rest, what do you think? Do you think we could wrap this rope between us? You know, you go one side of it, I go on the other, and the rope, wraps around the rock, and then we
One more try.
Okay, but if you get tired, make sure you go on one side of the sharp rock, and I go on the other, and the rope will catch the rock, and it'll be good."
Keep swimming.
Sharp rock.
So we have a plan.
Yep.
It depends on the rock not being sharp enough to break the rope.
Yep. Swim time. Oh, good heavens. That was a mistake.
11.
11. Tashash, do you even want to say the number out loud?
No.
Is it a 1?
Maybe.
Well, keep in mind I didn't give you an auto success when you rolled a 20. Well, I did, kind of. It wasn't considered a critical. Yeah. Make me another Constitution saving throw, Tashash.
Hello there. That's a dirty 20.
You also make me a Constitution saving throw.
You're looking at a 22 there.
Okay, yeah, your orc blood is running hot. Steam is beginning to come off of you as you pump your arms.
Very hot.
But you guys do, in fact, come back another 15 feet. You're now back at 4. Oh, whoa, there's a 1. You guys are now 60 feet back downstream.
Were we able to get on opposite sides of this rock?
You are. You guys, you see the rock coming up, and you are now on opposite sides. What kind of fancy rope work are you going to do?
As we're going past, as I'm paddling, and I see that he's falling way behind.
Yeah.
But I'm not going quite as slow as he is. I'm going to try and, he's on one side of it, I'm on the other side, but I'm going to try and loop around it if I can.
Yeah,
I think if I can grab onto it with the rope and loop the rope around it, just so that it's there's as much rope or as many coils of rope around it as possible.
Okay.
To spread out the
Tashash, seeing what he's doing, Tashash is gonna angle himself onto the opposite, towards the opposite side of the rock. He's flagging, so he's.
So this is
So he's just trying to stay out of Thak's way and get on the correct side of the rock.
Okay. So
this
is going to be in athletics because you're trying to do this with large gross motion. You're starting to get
All
cold.
right.
Yeah.
Good. So that was a natural 20 plus 9 for 29.
Okay. You guys are now looped around this thing and are just kind of, like fish on a hook. You're being pulled downstream, but you're anchored to this thing, and you're able to kind of hold your heads up. You're able to kind of catch your breath. The water is freezing cold, but you guys are able to erase the kind of mounting levels of exhaustion that had been building up.
I'm still cold-blooded.
It's D&D.
I start pulling my way up the rope to make it to this rock.
Try to get to the rock. Is it big enough to climb on?
No, there's just kind of a jagged part that's sticking up, and you see it is precariously looped around here. Had Thack not done an expert job of winding it around just the right way, you can see how it could have easily just kind of popped off and come loose.
Alright, well,
When I get there, I'm going to try and firm it up. Maybe even tie a knot of some kind so that just try and get it as firm as I possibly can.
You guys are putting all this tension on it. It looks like it's cinched down pretty well. It looks pretty well anchored. Should you mess with it, you could do more harm than good.
Then I won't.
Man.
If I get there first, I'm going to start pulling on his end so that he gets up to me sooner.
Okay.
I make like any sort of maybe, I don't know, investigation or perception or something to look around at what our
You can make a perception check. Yes.
to find a ledge or a hole or any way or a tree root or anything that we could use to get out of
So,
the water.
Let me tell you about something that I have in my backpack,
Okay.
which I got, I believe I got these from Mela way back in the day, who was
Okay.
trying to throw them out.
Okay.
Which is some, I've got 10 pitons. Which are
Excellent.
devices designed to be driven into rock to create a handhold.
Excellent.
So if
Okay.
possible, I would like to use the rope that we have and the pitons
Yes.
to try to make our way along this wall back up to the place where it splits.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. You guys have a rope, and you're doing this together. Make me a athletics check to try to get one of you wedged up against the wall. One of you is going to have to try to help the other one get up onto this rock outcropping, and you're going to have to kind of lean out across the current. It's a good 5-foot gap.
I'm bigger and more and stronger, so I'm gonna hold him up.
Okay. So you make me an athletics check to try to hold him in place, and you, Tashash, make me a sleight of hand check to try to get one of these pitons in place.
21.
Let's see. Okay. 11.
Yeah, you're scrambling and you can't seem to get it to cinch in. This is a very shallow little crack. Thack, make me another athletics check to keep propping him up. Tashash, make me a check to get it wedged in. Sleight of hand.
That's off the thing, doesn't count. 21 again. 12
Okay.
plus 9.
Okay. That's not better. That's an 8.
Okay, yeah, you're still scrambling and fiddling with this thing and can't seem to make it purchase. Thack, do it again. You're starting to get tired. You're going to be a -2.
I'm going to suggest we switch spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So he makes the athletics check, and I make the
Sleight of hand to get the thing purchased in the rock.
Sure.
Well, that's a 13.
Okay.
15.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, you guys managed to. It wasn't too hard to stabilize the person. His foot looks like it's just about to go flying off the rock, and Tashash, you grab his foot with your clawed hand, wedge it back into place on the rock. Back, you managed to get your first purchase, and you are now you're kind of leaning against the wall with this piton in. You guys are gonna now be making a few climb checks to try to get the piton stuck in, and both of you are going to be using this thing. So you're going to be making your climb checks with advantage. The person coming up behind is going to be making a check with advantage. The person out front is going to just be making a straight check to try to get the next piece stuck in. So we'll try to knock these out. Athletics.
All right. I mean, then I'll go first.
Okay. So you make me a straight check. Tashash, you're going to make yours with advantage coming up behind him.
Looking at a 13.
Okay.
That is a 10.
10 total?
Yes, 10.
Jeepers, creepers. Tashash falls into the water. In fact, make me a strength check to try to haul him back up.
Why not?
Strength check is not as good as athletics, but all right. Here you go. 16.
Okay, that's good enough. You haul him up. It's with advantage. You haul him up, and Tashash, you get resituated on the edge of the rock. Make me another check to move forward.
Okay. A bit better. 14.
Okay. Thak, what was yours?
You want me to make another athletics check to climb?
Yeah, you guys are just making a series of checks. I'm trying to think.
16.
Okay, you move forward. Again.
Ooh, 21.
Nice.
That's going to be 28.
You guys managed to secure 2 of them into the wall, and you kind of hit your groove. You find a little ledge, and you manage to kind of crawl along. You guys, your bottom halves are hanging down into the water, and you're just kind of hand over hand crawling along this ledge for a good 10 feet. Make me another one.
Oh, heavens. That's a 9. Josh's.
14.
Okay, Tashash, make me an athletics check to grab and haul Tashash back up. Thak, make a check to haul Tashash back up as he falls into the water.
21.
Excellent. Make me another one.
17.
18.
Nice. You guys managed to pull forward, no problems. Make me another one. You're only like 20 feet away now.
17.
20.
Excellent. You move another 5 feet closer. Do it. Come on.
14.
Same, 14.
Excellent. You move forward. You're 15 feet away.
21.
16.
Excellent. You're 10 feet away. You're so close. Don't double one. Don't double
19.
one. 19. 21. Oh, man. You guys find another lip, and you manage to move all the way forward. You guys have cleared all the way up to the split, and you can see just across the way. It's only like 10 feet out. If you guys just make a decent athletics check, you can just jump off the wall and manage to catch yourself on the edge of that Y, and then the current will take you down the rest of the way.
Here goes.
22.
20.
Nice. You guys both, one after the other, just hurl yourselves across and land fully clear of the Y. And you guys, Harcourt, Volas, Mela, and this weird slimy-looking dude who are all kind of leaning out over the ledge, looking at this waterfall. Suddenly, up from behind you, you see Tashash and Thak kind of lean over your shoulders as well. And they're staring at a waterfall. What do you guys say?
I applaud.
I lay down.
It is a nice waterfall.
I go to sleep.
And Tashash lies down as well.
Excellent. And we will return to that scene after a short rest, both in-game and IRL, as we will now take a 15-minute intermission. And when we come back, we will resolve the meeting of this new friend and Harcourt and Volas and Mela can hear from Thak and Tashash exactly how they came to fight their way back tooth and nail up the black, icy river.
Don't want to talk about it.
See you in 15 minutes, folks.
It was like I was there.
we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to see the second half of episode 11 of the Starfall Collective Season 1. Thak and Tashash have, through great effort, fought their way back with the help of technology.
Always and forever.
In the form of pitons, and have managed to scale their way back up the cliff, up the cave face, and hurl themselves bodily across the stream, and have rejoined their party that was pointed in the right direction by a slimy, paley, white frog-looking guy. They're now overlooking a waterfall that Thak and Tashash would have gone down, but for their great effort. Thak.
I have a question. How many pitons did I use up and leave in the wall so that I can take them out of my inventory?
12. You have 2 left because you said you had 14.
I have 10.
We'll say that you've used them all. Yes. A loaves and fishes situation. Well, it was roughly every 5 feet. You guys had a couple of real good checks. We'll say that you managed to not have to use one exactly every 5 feet, and you managed to stretch them out and make them work.
2 of them were psychic pitons.
Yes. So, you have rejoined each other, and you guys have taken a short rest. So, anybody who needs to regain a certain number of hit points, or
I can roll some hit die.
you can.
How do we do that?
So you can roll like a hit die per hour, or can you just use up as much of your pool?
On D&D Beyond, right, it just says short rest, you click the button and it says some stuff.
Yep.
Where's the short rest?
Yeah, for me, I don't get any health, I guess, on a short rest, only a long rest.
Take short rest.
Oh boy, we're gonna get nasty, Rich.
You guys should read the rules.
Yeah, especially the DM.
I click short rest.
Is that how it works?
Let's see.
Oh wait, did it?
You have something called hit die. These are what are used to calculate your max hit points. They are also expended during a short rest, one by one, to give you back hit points. So you get, during a short rest, you can use as many as you would like, and you can use one and then see what it gives you, and then use another and see what it gives you. But once they are expended, you cannot use them again until a long rest, and they give you the total on the die plus your Constitution bonus, I believe it is. And if you're multi-classing, then you get different kinds of die from different classes.
I would like to expend a hit dice. Just one
Do it.
to get back 3.
Wait,
It's
didn't do
1d6
anything.
plus
Oh,
one.
do I have to roll it myself?
You
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
No, okay.
Alright.
I got
36 hit points.
Wow, that's great.
I'm going to use one and get 7 back.
I didn't came back for this.
Came back for resting.
Yeah.
So you guys whip out the orange slices and tang. Your mom pulls up in the minivan right next to the little jetty pool and asks if you guys need to get into the Previa and if she needs to crank up the AC or turn on the heat.
All right, so I'm rested. I got 7 hit points back. I'm now at 43 out of 45, and I've expended 1 of my hit dice.
Excellent.
I have 4 remaining.
I have some number remaining.
I'm rested too, and I have been spending the time warming up my clothes with prestidigitation or a fire. If there was something we could make a fire of, I would do that. If it's, seems safe-ish. Otherwise, I'm just using prestidigitation and warming myself.
I could just spam firebolt at the same place a lot.
Yeah.
And that would make a decent fire.
So you guys are resting, and during this time, there is this creature thing that is at the edge of your camp, kind of lurking in the shadows, looking at you, eyeballing you. He's got a kind of a creepy vibe to him. Think kind of old Greg. He's a weird little dude.
Harcourt says, "Hey, Frogman, what's going on with you?"
I have been watching you. You are not a good place. What are you doing down here?
I actually
It's a
forgot.
dangerous place.
Yeah, we're all right. We're pretty dangerous too.
I think the one who should answer that question is Mela.
You have melons? I love melons. What kind of melons do you have? Juicy melons?
Take the wax out of your ears, creature.
Speaking of ears, I have
I don't have melons.
I have a spell.
And he starts stroking the sides of his face.
Take this
have gravy
the root of evil.
An enormous long tongue slurps the outside of his mouth and says,
You have gravies?
Jake wants to do something.
I have comprehend languages. Can I cast that as a ritual?
Will that affect this?
yeah, so during the course of rest, you're not allowed to do anything strenuous, but I'll say that you guys, it's only like 10 minutes to do it. So yeah, in the course of your hour and 10-minute long rest, you cast comprehend languages ritualistically, and you can now speak frog. You can speak his native tongue and converse with him with free of any kind of language barriers.
Great.
Really?
Tell him to take us to the root of all the problems.
You want to talk to him?
I mean, you just cast comprehend languages.
I mean, I can only understand what he's saying. I can't actually talk in the language. So.
Oh, okay. You hear him say, I'm truly famished. It's been such a very long time since I've had a meal of any consequent succor or real vitality. Certainly no spices or anything delicious. I've just been living off of cave slugs and bugs, and any sort of outside food that you have would be most welcome.
What did he say?
He said that food would be very, very welcome, and he has not had any spices or spiciness, so make sure to, a little dazzling flavor.
What does he like to eat?
Ask
him.
What do you like to eat? What do you like to eat?
I seem to recall a summer's eve as a child when I had a delicious smoked fish. It was transformative.
I have... And you
Yes.
convey that?
Yeah.
I have...
You guys see him going like...
He's a smoky fish and all.
Here we go. I have...
I don't have any fish. Just regular rations.
I have some random dried stuff and a ration. So I will take a bit of ration and break it off and prestidigitation it into some exactly the fish he wanted as a kid.
Okay. Yeah, Volas, you kind of go back and forth with them a little bit. You get an idea of the size and length and everything. Everybody make me a nature check.
While this is going on, Pack is casting mending
Okay.
to like mend various little rips and tears on the ropes and things.
Yeah, you find a large gash in your jacket.
Yeah, anybody's packs, anything that got messed up by that adventure, Thack is just going, mend, 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 mend.
So who's got a decent nature check?
I got 20, but not natural.
For nature, you're looking at a 13 for Thack.
Volas, you said 20. You got it up to a dirty 20?
Not
16.
natural.
16.
16 plus 4, 20.
Oh, yeah, there you go. All right, excellent. So you realize exactly the fish he's talking about. Harcourt, you get it prepared perfectly. You tweak it a little bit. Give it your little Emerald Lagasse bam move, and present it to him. And his eyes grow even larger, if it can be believed. They were already orb-like, and now they're
Ratatouille
positively
moment.
popping out of his head. What?
A Ratatouille moment back to his childhood.
Yes. He places it in his mouth, and you see him just kind of stare off into space. Volas, you hear him whisper the name. Your sweet, dulcet craftings. I miss them. I crave your company. And you guys all seem blubbering semi-coherently.
Well, one thing you guys should know, if you use Thack has an ability called Song of Rest.
Yeah.
So he takes his guitar and he's bun, 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 while we're resting. And any of you who used hit dice to get back hit points, roll a d6 and add that to the number of hit points you get back.
Nice.
Up to their max hit points?
Just one d6.
Up
If
to
you
max?
use-
Or does it
Oh
go
yeah,
past?
doesn't go over the max.
Okay.
These
Cool.
are not
Also-
hit points. Ceiling.
Also, Harcourt, just for whatever it's worth, Harcourt cannot see in the dark. So the little ball bearing, I basically am carrying with me as a lantern in my hand. Like, just I'm using it to see.
Okay.
So what now?
Go ahead.
So what now?
I would like to say to the Froghemoth, well, if you join our company, then it would be very, very good, because then you would have more of the fishes, and they would be exactly like that one.
You, pray, do not deceive me. You say you have more of these succulent victuals? Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
All right.
Here.
Ooh, +4.
With advantage.
Oh. 22.
22. Excellent. He says, truly I would venture true peril to once more dine upon such delectable light. Please, tell me how I may be of assistance to you that we may continue this womb-based transactional relationship. You guys see him going,
We need to find the tree.
Yes, what he said.
Found the tree.
and you, Volas, you hear, but the tree is the easiest thing for many miles to find. How could you possibly have trouble finding the tree? Are you truly so lost in this environment?
We do not live underground.
Also, we're looking for some problem in the roots.
Yes.
You see his eyes get really big. Volas, he says to you, so, you have come to cure the ill that plagues the over and underland once and for all, have you? You have come to strike at the heart of the infection.
Yes. Yes.
Arrogant are the upper dwellers. Arrogant are they in their sense of the solution to things. Not many have ever ventured down here. Everyone believes that all the problems above will be solved above. They do not realize that there are some things that must be come at from another angle. Fortunately, you have made an amicable, nay, an alliance with one who has just such knowledge. How are we coming with that second fish?
Right on the way. I would like to cast as much prestidigitation as I need to get
What?
on let's say I have rations, so I'll just use that.
Take one out.
Alrighty.
If,
Equipment.
if we run out of rations, I can scavenge for rations.
You guys produce another piece of this fish, and he wolfs it down and says, "Truly, you have given me a gift. These many years deprived of my own memories. Truly, all of the deepest senses of self are tied to our most to our deepest physicality. You have given me a true gift, friend. Thank you. Now, if you, oh boy, well, okay, all right. So, let me get this straight. You want to actually come all, you want to, you see him kind of begin pacing around back and forth, and he starts kind of muttering to himself. He's got his little hands behind his back, and he's hunched over, and he's wandering back and forth. You guys can hear him. But you, Bolas, can hear, no, that's far too tricky. He'll never, we would need a tremendous distraction to get in that way. And of course, there's all the guards. Of course, we would have to, we could just come up the garbage chute. All right.
Sounds perfect. Let's do that one.
All right. You do understand that the failure of going up the garbage chute would be falling infinitely to our infinite abyssal doom. I mean, it's got the clearest wind condition, too. I'll give you that. You're obviously a man of great acumen. But as I can see, we have two major options before us. One, we can create a distraction and attempt to take a backdoor route to try to slip up one of the less known passages to get to the antechamber of the necromancer's operations, or we can go straight up the garbage chute, which is how all this started in the first place, keeping in mind that we will be navigating certain currents of arcane energies, some of which will propel us upwards, up into the heart of the tree's root chamber, others which will allow us to fall infinitely into abyssal darkness. Now, not to oversimplify, but those are your options.
Tashash turns to Thak.
We are good at distractions, are we not?
Yes.
I don't think we've heard any of this unless Bolas has.
I'm relaying this to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We have experience with this.
I am the most distracting thing that has yet been invented by the great gods.
He is very distracting. Yes.
Distracting unto death for mine enemies.
yes.
Let's go!
I think a distraction might be very doable.
Yes.
It has the most mitigatable risk factors, of course, and also
I
it
also do not know how to fly.
My dear boy, who said anything about flying? This is simply falling upwards.
I don't
It's really
know
just a
how to
matter
do
of
that
casting
either.
yourself into the right zone of the chasm, so to speak.
Inverted gravity.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, well, few
To
do.
you, he turns to Thak.
No, never flown myself.
But you do know how to make a distraction. Yes.
Anybody,
Tashash turns pointedly back to the toad.
Harcourt
anybody
is
who would like
bored
to
and
make
looking
an
around.
Arcana check? What's that?
Harcourt is bored and looking around.
Anybody who wants to make an Arcana check, do so.
+7.
19.
I got a
15.
natural 20.
Mela, you and Harcourt look at each other, and Harcourt, you recognize that he is, this guy is talking about some sort of vertical fissure that is found in the shallow Underdark from time to time that is kind of a confluence of upward energies that has blown the equivalent of an arcane volcano upwards. But at the same time,
Arcano.
an arcano. While most things will go flying up the center, some things will get along the outside, get sucked down, and it would take a decent little arcana check to kind of read the arcane currents of this confluence. So think of it kind of like a magnetic well, magnetic field. In the center, everything is shunting up, and along the outsides, but not perfectly symmetrically, some things are getting sucked down. So
we're gonna go arc perfing, boys.
So you can either surf the Arcano, or you can make a distraction to try to slip into the Necromancer's antechambers.
I rolled a 25 for my Arcana check. 17 plus 7.
With a 25, you know that this tree is, and Mela, you probably, because of your local knowledge of things, you've heard rumors about this. People, like especially teenagers, who go into the pump house, which is a building on the southeastern edge of the mesa. They have, a couple of people have come back with stories of finding this chasm, but no one has done that for quite a long time because the pump house has been sealed off for a long time. But in previous generations, there's old lore about people finding this. You, with the 25, you know that it is probably located either immediately under the tree or on some axis leading to the tree, like just right off axis from it. Probably there's a confluence of arcane energies that have, if the problem was with the root of the tree, then probably that's how all this happened, is something got shot up to the tree. Excuse me.
Me and Tashash are gonna go fight that necromancer. You guys can come or not. Whatever.
We're back to our old school of decision making.
Hey, frogman. Which way to the necromancer? I'm not flying anywhere. That sounds super dangerous.
No, we want to make a distraction. That is how we will do this.
Harcourt is.
How do we get there? Please lead us in that direction.
Harcourt is somewhat distracted and fiddling around and says something like, "Oh, for the love of God, let's just do one of them."
Alternate solution. We
No.
do both of them.
No.
Either way, I'm taking the arcane name.
Jack has the two wizards by the shoulders, or Harcourt and
Volas, the two
Yeah.
gnomes.
has got them on by the one hand on each of their shoulders and is sort of walking in the direction that the frogman may or may not have indicated is the way to go, the way that Thak wants.
What is the frogman going to lead us to where we can create a distraction and not go up a chimney?
I want to go up the chimney.
I'm not going up the
Excuse
chimney.
me. Excuse
Sorry.
me. Garbage chute. This is Dave talking to the GM.
He turns to. By the way, have you guys introduced yourselves to this guy or talked to him or anything, or is this just we're still on a no-name basis with this gentleman? He turns to you, Volas, and he says,
Names.
"It would appear that your compatriots are a bit faint of heart for such arcane aerial acrobatics. Am I to take it that the consensus of the party is that we wish to distract and infiltrate?
Indeed, but I do not want to do that. So I would kindly ask my associate to put me down. I'm talking to.
Fact, do you actually have Volas's feet off the ground?
No. I just had a hand on his back to sort of
Okay.
try and guide them the way I want to go.
Okay. Well, thank you. Fact.
I'll make you a deal. Whichever gentleman is able to place 5 whopping pounds of this delectable fish product into my hands in the next minute or so shall have my undying allegiance.
Thack is going. Thack's on his way.
He's still standing there in front of you guys, asking to be bribed with more fish.
Did he gesture or make any indication that Thack could tell of which is the way to go that Thack wants to go?
Sounds like you
You
need a
can make
check.
me an insight check. What's that?
No, I was just saying. Sounds like he needs to make a check.
That's going to be a 19.
You noticed him gesturing downriver.
Is there a path, or do I have to jump in water?
The waterfall.
All you see is the icy water flowing away from you, away from this little clearing. There's a little, like, 30 square foot area next to this little jetty, and it kind of disappears into the blackness further down.
Is this just 5 rations?
Tashash is going to pick up Harcourt and hoist him into his usual spot, and then he's going to pick up Volus and toss him to Thag.
Thack catches him.
Off we go.
Little people are being manhandled. I'm sorry.
And then Tashash turns back to the frog and says,
If you want the fish, you will come with us.
But all of the fish heretofore has been coming from these 2 small, kindly gentlemen. And I understand that there's a kidnapping underway.
And they are going this way.
Actually,
and we
no.
I'm going to continue
Fishman,
following Thag.
could you help me not be here? Wait, during a short rest, can I exchange spells, preparations?
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. That would be a class feature that you would see, whether or not you can swap spells on a short rest. You're a wizard. I believe there's a chance that you can swap one, but Dave,
You can also just jump off.
Tashash is currently trying to either persuade or intimidate this guy into getting a move on. Do you want to make me a persuasion or intimidation check to try
With
to...
intimidation, Thack helps, and he gets to roll with advantage.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, what could go wrong?
Actually, no, I'll roll with persuasion too.
Okay. So Tashash, are you making a persuasion check or an intimidation check?
Probably persuasion.
Okay.
He's not really threatening. He's just being like, we're going away. If you
Okay.
want to come with
So
us."
yeah, you snatched up one of the little people, Thack has the other one, and you persuade and you say,
If you want more fish, come.
and what's your...
I got a 17.
A 17. Excellent. Okay.
And for whatever it's worth,
Yes.
Harcourt is completely uninvested in Tashash picking him up, and is just laying on Tashash's back, waiting for this whole thing to be over.
Okay. You hear him say,
Yes, I'm. Thank you for the fishy. I'll do for me.
and Volas, you can hear this frogman saying, please, gentlemen, there's no need for things to turn ugly. As long as the fish continues to be produced, you'll have my unmitigated cooperation.
Indeed. Now, I would like to jump off and say to the frog person, now, I will provide you with much fish. Could you please explain a map to the arcane volcano?
Uh-oh, we lost to Dwight, and we got him back.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at you when you say map, and he says, I have no feasible way of indicating on any sort of simple parchment the labyrinthine set of turns and decisions that one would have to make to successfully navigate. I'm afraid, as a long denizen of these dark and winding passages, it is only my immediate personage that will successfully bring you to your goal.
Well,
You guys here.
That's the world. It's really painful, but the hand is there. And the hand is about to be there. I get you.
Well, that is okay. Here. You can come with me and help me find the chute. And then, once you are done finding the chute, I can help someone else understand you, and then they can go make the distraction.
Oh.
If such is your wish,
It is.
as long as there's fish.
There will be.
Cool. So
All right.
we'll camp out here, and he will go take Folas up to the thing, and then come back to us.
Sure. Okay. So you guys see that there is a little ledge along the lip of this cave, and he turns to you. How long does this comprehend languages thing last? Is it just concentration? You can just keep it up?
An hour.
An hour. Okay. So as he's about to leave, he turns to you, Volas, and he says, "Pardon me, but if we will be traveling together, I would be much more comfortable being on a first-name basis. I am hurt." And he sticks his hand out, a very slimy hand. Do you shake it?
Yes, I do. I'm a deep gnome, so I'm from the Underdark. So I'm very used to
Oh.
things like these.
Excellent.
I put my hand out and say, "Pleasure to meet you."
As he goes to shake your hand, if you want, you can make a dexterity saving throw to try to snatch your hand out of the way. You see his tongue come shooting out of his mouth, and he licks the back of your hand. Do you pull your hand out of the way?
No.
Okay. And he gives it a good lick, and he looks at you and says, "Ah, a connoisseur of these dark and cold places. I am sure you will be at home."
Indeed.
And he turns to all of you, and you guys can all see him say,
That's easy.
and he shoots off into the dark.
And as Harcourt just says to the other guys, like, "Hey, I'm going to make sure Volas is okay. I'm not super thrilled about the volcano thing itself either, but I'm going to go with him, make sure he's all right. I'll be back."
I can always tie some rope to
Doctor's playing the guitar. Bing,
Oh,
bing, 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 bing.
He turns to all of you and says, "Oh, no, please, have your compatriots come. It's the same path to get roughly close, and we'll simply have to take a slight detour once we get to a parting of the ways."
Sure.
So he leads you guys down a path, and you guys follow along this ledge, and you come up a shaft, and he has you climb up and up and up, and it's just about the time that your arms are getting really sore, and you realize, oh crud, should I miss a handhold, it would be a long way down. You emerge onto a small platform, and you see that you're kind of looking down over a small cavernous area, and you see that there are lots of huge frogs that are about 20 feet tall, really honking big ones. And you see these holes in the rock kind of all over, and you see they're kind of glowing with arcane energy. And every now and then you see one of these other frogmen that look a little bit like this hurt guy walk up to one and just jump up into its mouth, and you see the frog jump into one of these holes, and with a loud thunk sound, you see it go flying at tremendous speed down this hole, and it just disappears. So Hurt looks at all of you and says, "Now, strictly speaking, I'm not entirely allowed to avail myself of these services, However, you said that you were all masterful at distractions, so now would be a good time to make a bit of a trial run of that.
Are you ready for Thak to make a performance check to just blast some noise from wherever this guy indicates that he should stand while blasting noise?
That certainly would be one way. Of course, then you yourself would have a great deal of attention upon you, and I suppose it would be up to you to follow suit. However, I could possibly...
I have a... Sorry, go ahead, Tashash.
I was going to say I could cast Pass Without Trace if we needed to sneak.
Also, Harcourt, I volunteer. Yeah, I also have a toolkit, and I can make any kind of trap we need that'll make rocks fall or whatever, man. So we could set it off, trigger it from afar. We'll be in good shape.
You see that there is, in fact, a choke point in the cavern where it kind of makes a peanut shape, and most of the frogs and tunnels shooting off are on this side. And currently there's a mass of about 3 or 4 what look like guards, for lack of a better term, in the middle. They look like they're wearing some sort of armor plate over their back. Their bellies don't seem to be protected, but their backs have these kind of studded leather armor on the back, and they've got these pole arms. And you see that there is, in fact, a large outcropping of kind of rocks and boulders at the pinch point. So that could work.
Yeah, I just want to ask Grunt or whatever his name was.
Hurt.
Just like, are you wanting to like not damage anything, or like, do you care?
He kind of leans over and he looks.
No.
And you see him say, Volas, you hear him say, no, several of those gentlemen are tremendously unsavory. While I wouldn't call them necessarily evil, I wouldn't lose sleep should they suffer some mild concussive damage.
Well, Volas grins at this and relays it to the other people.
Great. So Harcourt is ready to make, try to set up basically a trap that we can trip ourselves to just do maximum chaos.
Okay. So do you? So you're about to try to create an arcane trap. We're going to house rule this.
I was going to say arcane.
No, wait,
I'm willing for that. Just to say, I have thieves' tools. I have thieves' tools with me, and expertise and proficiency with them. So it's a sleight of hand check for me.
So to make a rock slide trap, I'm going to say if you can make a decent survival check on this, then you can kind of identify the vulnerable point in this precarious arrangement of rocks, and you can create a something that you can trigger. And so make me a survival check. Anybody who wants to help, you can.
Okay.
Sure, I will. And Thak has expertise with leatherworking tools, and I've got this big nightsaber pelt, big like animal skin, so I can contribute that as materials if he needs materials.
He's got a trap kit, so I think you're okay. He's got a trap making kit. He's got the wires and stuff like that. So
okay, well, I help him, and he gets to roll with advantage.
Okay.
So what am I doing? I was asking about.
You're going to make a survival check to try to identify because nature just a straight check? So I think this is going to be either survival or nature.
Okay. They're the same for me, so I'm not going to choose. 16.
You identify if I were to put some leverage here, and I run a wire here, make a there. You identify how to trigger a rock slide.
Great. And I think I'm supposed to make this says a sleight of hand check for making the trap or executing the whole thing. Oh,
okay.
At your discretion, I was just telling you what it looked like from my side.
That's fair. Go for it.
All right. And I'm just doing this myself, no advantage or anything.
I don't know if that's a thing that somebody can help you on, is it? I
I don't
suppose.
Hey, hold this. Put your finger there. I don't know.
Can I help? I want to help.
Sure. Mela helps.
Sure. Okay.
While this is going on,
8.
Oh no, you don't have to roll anything.
Right.
He just rolls. Go for it.
27.
Excellent. You masterfully set the trap. Mela, you stand underneath 800 pounds of rocks for a little bit, and you see one of them kind of begin to lean towards you, and Harcourt just kind of runs back up and beep, puts a finger on it, slowly slides it back over and gives you a wink and a thumbs up and runs off again.
While they're doing that, I'm looking around at the scene below us.
Yeah.
Do the gigantic frogs, do they seem like animals?
Yes, they do. They seem like some sort of arcane magical beasts.
Okay. Do they, is there are there any humanoids who seem like ringleaders within my sight?
Yes, one of them has a much shinier cap on his head. Most of these are kind of common-looking light brown. One of them actually appears to have a much more slender build. He looks much less toad-like and much more frog-like, and has some kind of Kelly green and yellow stripes going down, and he is wearing robes and looks to be more of kind of a bureaucratic official,
Okay.
and is kind of, people are deferring to him.
How far away from us are these generally?
These guys are about 30 feet down and, 30, 45 feet over. So,
Okay, great. So Thak wants to, in his mind, just take note of where that one person is.
okay.
The one frog
Also-
humanoid thing.
Also,
He seems
Bolas,
to be rather centrally located to the room and not moving around much. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bolas.
I have a cantrip that allows me to momentarily make a ton of bugs and insects. I'm gonna say flies for this purpose. Surround
Excellent.
a specific person. Could I do that on the regal toad?
You absolutely can.
Great.
wait till the trap is sprung.
When the trap is sprung.
Sure.
He's hoping that the frogs, seeing the insects, will swarm the toad guy and try to
Excellent. You choose a particularly delectable form of large fly native to the area, native to the Underdark.
Cool.
Excellent.
Sturge.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get wherever we need to go and then trip this trap. What do I do?
So Hurt looks at you, Bolas, and says, "It will take just a moment to give instruction to the first of the transported beasts. So we'll be able to send, I'd say, half of you in the first go. But we will need to make this distraction hold for a moment as I get all the rest of us. And in fact, I believe I could send the two of you. Yeah, so when you arrive to your featured destination, you will immediately go up as quickly as you possibly can. It'll be up to you to evade any persons who may or may not be there on the other side, but up you must go. And as soon as you find the tunnel that leads to the side, take it. You'll travel until you reach a T and go left. After that, it should lead you directly to one of the apertures leading directly into the Arcano, as you and your compatriots so eloquently named it.
Yes.
Gentlemen,
Where will we go?
you will be coming with me,
Sounds good.
because our path is much more treacherous, perilous, and has many more twists and turns, and there's no way I'm going to let you run off into the wild with a half-cocked set of instructions.
Great.
Fish to the road. He holds out his hand, asking for some more fish for the road.
I pour out 2 of my rations and flavor them as fish.
Excellent. How long does that prestidigitation last?
I will check.
Sir Robert, I think you said it lasts like an hour per...
It does last
an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Long enough. Okay. So he kind of shoves them down into his jowl on the side of his mouth and looks to all of you and says, "Ready, steady?"
Great.
Yes.
And I've got a wire that at our convenience I can pull, and it'll do stuff over there.
Okay.
Do it.
Well, I suppose the first part of the plan would be to try to get all of them on the other side of the slide, or shall we just dump it on all of them in the middle?
Dump it in the middle. Dump it in the middle.
Maximum chaos.
I won't lose any sleep. And he brings you all over to a place where there's a ledge that kind of goes down around the back so that you won't have to jump full 30 feet. So you guys all run, and Hardcore, make me a...
Do we get pass without trace? Is Tashash going to give us pass without trace while we're sneaking?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So, Hardcore, you've just got this long length of line in your hands that you're just kind of holding onto with your fingers, and you're bringing it around with you. Everybody make me pass without trace. You get a plus 10 to your stealth checks, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So you guys are, for starters, trying to just skirt around the outside, and you're going to use the trap if you need to.
27.
29.
27, 27, 29,
17.
17,
I rolled
25.
25.
Fack is the stealthiest among us.
Excellent. Volas, at one point you trip and fall flat, and the little aura of darkness, your little foot sticks out the back, and Fack dips back and grabs you and yanks you forward into the little aura of darkness, and you guys manage to get right up next to one of the toads, and you see Hurt kind of walk up to it. And you see the toad startle a bit because it didn't notice you coming over. Ooh, Tashash, make me a perception check.
Okay. That die is cocked. I'm gonna reroll.
And this is regarding a beast, so I'm going to say you've got advantage on this.
Alright, well, just in case. Okay, I got a... What did I get? I got a 22.
Excellent. You noticed that Hurt has startled this toad, and it's about to, you see that it's kind of welling up, and it's about to react in some way. You notice this in a split second. I'm going to give you a chance to make an animal handling check, which I think in 5E is straight, it's a wisdom skill. So if you've got animal handling, make an animal handling check to try to get this toad to not belch out a alarm reaction.
13.
13 is good. Well, that is good enough. This toad kind of swells back down, and you see it kind of eyeball you. Hurt. Go ahead.
Very quietly.
Oh, crud.
Frills go up.
Your frills go up, yeah.
In a warning gesture.
You see this thing, it begins to calm down, and then your frills open up, and I apologize, I misread the die. I thought that it was a lower number, but it wasn't. And your frills come out, and you see it kind of swell back up, and it at you. And you guys all see those guards in the middle swivel and turn and look directly at you.
Hardcore gives a good old fashioned
Directly in
tongue.
your direction. and they have this look of complete baffled confusion as they look at the frog, the giant toad thing that has just belched this sound.
Falk is continuing on and like gesturing to keep going to everybody.
You tap Hurt on the shoulder, and Hurt is holy cow. Yeah, okay. Everybody make me hang on, let me do one more thing. Okay, you guys have this tense 12-second period where you all just freeze, and all these toads just kind of stare at you in your direction, and they don't seem to notice this small cloud of darkness. Their eyes just kind of glance and bounce off of you. And does anybody do anything?
How far away from us are they?
They are about 30 feet.
Yes, I do something.
Feet. 45.
I do something. I use Mage Hand, which is sorry, hold on. I have a special...
It's got a range of 30 feet and 10 pounds.
Yeah. I just use Mage Hand, and I tap or kind of tug on the back of the other side of the guard's things, and I do it on several of them. I have a special skill, Mage Hand Ledgermane, that lets me use an invisible Mage Hand.
Nice. So you can make a sleight of hand check with your Mage Hand. So do you want to make a sleight of hand check to try to distract them away?
Sure. And it's just like, I'm making stuff behind them rattle around,
Sure.
Make them take the direction.
And while that's going on, Thak is using message.
Okay.
And attempting to ventriloquize, which as a bard he is quite good at under his performance skill.
Okay.
Attempting to ventriloquize to various of them a voice coming from the direction of Harcourt's distraction.
Now I think something like that's ghost sound, right? Because if you send them a message, they'll just psychically hear this in their head. Is there something in the message spell that says that you can do a ventriloquism thing with it?
No, but they hear the message and they can reply if they want.
What's the message?
And I can cast it like all twisty around the place, so I can get any of them within 120 feet, even around corners.
Okay.
The message is going to be just stuff like, "Look behind you."
Okay.
Look behind you. Something's going on over there. Those rocks. Something's going on, but I'm hitting like different of them, like every. Or I guess in 2 6-second turns, I can only get 2 of them.
Okay.
But I'm just saying whatever he's doing, I'm saying like, notice that, like, look at that rock, turn around, something's over there.
Okay. Harcourt, what was your check?
29.
Excellent. You guys completely bamboozle and deceive them, and after several rounds of this tense silence, of this tension where you guys are picking up the slack, Dwight, if you would like to speak, you may. Hurt finally manages to get the frog calmed down, and you see him kind of lay a hand up there, and the frog kind of goes slack-eyed, and you can see that some sort of transaction has occurred between the two of them, and the frog's mouth opens up, and he gestures furiously for you, Harcourt, and Volas to get in. The only problem is that mouth is 10 feet up in the air.
First, I give somebody the cord they need to pull.
Okay.
I'll take the cord.
Well, you're coming into the frog mouth with me. I give one of them, Thak, I guess,
Thak takes it.
The thing. And as for me, I'm going to say, "Hey, Thak, you want to toss me up?" Or, whisper, "Toss me into the frog mouth." And I'm going to try to do like an acrobatic sort of jump and flip up into the mouth, grab his lip, pull myself in.
Okay.
I'll definitely throw him.
Okay.
If you want me to make an athletics check.
Oh, no. This is well within your strength. You do it. Yeah.
Do I need to do anything?
Your strength score is such that it's a non-event. You put him up into the mouth,
Great.
Who would put Volas in?
I actually have an idea. I would like to cast Dust Devil below me and have it fling me up into the air because along with attacking me for 1d8 bludgeoning damage, it pushes me away 10 feet. So I'm just
Alright, suddenly a tremendous wind swirls and explodes up in underneath the mouth of the toad. Make me a dexterity check to try to get into his mouth before he startlingly shuts it.
Okay. Dexterity. 8. That's not too good.
Yeah, his mouth snaps shut, and Harcourt, and this in the mouth of this frog, disappears down this hole, and you see Hurt. You see Hurt look in shock, and he runs over to another frog. Fortunately, you see him manage to successfully. Well, actually, everybody roll for initiative.
Take your damage.
Yeah. Yeah, he runs over, and you see him successfully get this frog to open its mouth, and he motions to you, Volas, just as you see these guards grab their spears, or at least one or two of them turn, grabbing their spears and looking in the direction of this dust devil. Most of them are looking over their shoulders because a couple of them have started running in that direction because you guys so completely fooled them into believing that they needed to go check out whatever's that way. But there are currently two guards that are standing in the zone of the rock slide and are about to move out of it. You guys are going to get to go before them, though.
My initiative is 18.
Okay.
And Dwight, do you have something to say?
It is 10:05.
We're almost done here. So, Fact, do you pull the lever?
Was that a plan?
So currently the plan is to pull the lever in the event that these guys are about to advance on you, and you can see that this is your last chance to pull this thing before they come rushing at you.
Yes, I pull the cord to trigger the trap. Fact does that and tries to get all of his friends to come with him and tries to get the frog dude to lead us the way we're supposed to go.
Okay, who's helping? So is anybody helping Volas get into the mouth of this giant toad?
Fact is trying to get Volas to come with us, like gesturing, "Come on, buddy."
I'll go and do that. Yeah, I'll go with them.
Not to the volcano.
Oh man, I love it. Okay, all right.
Is the toad's
I
mouth
thought
open?
they were taking me to the volcano.
I just left an R frog to the volcano.
Oh.
He's
Is there
okay.
another toad's mouth open?
There's a toad's mouth open right now.
Okay,
I'll
is
go with
Volas
that
near
one.
me? I grab him and I
Yeah.
throw him into the...
Yeah,
Yes.
so make me an athletics check for this to send him sailing through the air.
I'm like, all right, buddy, you're going into a toad's mouth too. I don't know why, I don't know what's going on, but like, here we
I
go.
don't either. Let's go.
You spend your free action pulling the rope,
That's gonna be a 20.
and then you see emerging out of this cloud of magical arcane obfuscation the very clear visage of a gnome sailing through the air and Heisman-like, or Joe Montana-like, spiraling and landing in the mouth of this frog, who then turns and leaps into a hole, and you see Hurt run over to another one and put his hand up on its face, and he motions for all of you, and he starts, he puts his hands out like this to, as kind of a fireman to shove you up, and everybody scrambles in, and it's incredibly tight in there. Obviously, the frog keeps trying to close his mouth, and you see Hurt hanging off of the lower jaw lip, trying to keep it open. Each time one of you guys jumps in and wants to close, and he's keeping it open, and you guys all jump in, and then you feel yourselves going through as you're all compressed in this disgusting smelling, slimy, though surprisingly spacious once you all begin to kind of elbow out. You're inside of this frog's mouth. You feel it lurch forward, and then you feel this kind of sickening rush and jolt of speed as you feel yourselves sailing through arcane portals. And when we return next week for episode 12, we will discover what is on the other side of these portals. What, if anything, what adventures they find as they are spat Jonah-like out of the mouth of these large creatures. Wow, you know, I don't ever want to play D&D without a wild card in the form of Jacob Burbridge ever again. That is too fun, guys.
I'll play next
Hey,
season.
Sir.
Cool.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much was this episode with giant frogs inside of volcanoes a Homestuck reference?
A Homestuck reference?
Oh boy, that
It was
somebody
not.
in the future watching our videos will understand what I mean, and this is for you, mysterious person.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a true pleasure having you join us as we play D&D live. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure playing with you. I will see you all next Monday night. And until then, remember, failure and complication are beautiful too. Good night, everybody.
Night.